Hi, I'm Allison Dunsick, and I was one of the lead filmmakers working on Places. It was such a pleasure to be able to work with ALMA on this incredible piece. I'm not a dancer, I'm not in the dance world, so as an outsider coming in, I really didn't know what to expect of anything. I mean, I hadn't met a lot of these people before. I always wished I was a dancer, and this definitely proved it, but I really enjoyed working with everybody to kind of understand their passion and their heart and why dance was so important to them. I will say I asked a lot of people some very hard questions, and it was amazing to me to see the resilience of these dancers particularly. I think the past year and a half, almost 2 years, was really hard on a lot of people. And a lot of people pivoted and had to kind of change their life. But something that I realized with this group of people was that no matter where they were, what they did for a 9-to-5 or to make ends meet, dance was always going to be a part of them and be a part of their life. So it was really special for me to come in and kind of see that passion and see why it mattered to them so much. So I really hope that you like Places and enjoy. Can you try speaking now?
Hello? Can you hear me? I am here. I'm correct.
Cool.
Living life with life.
Alright, and can you do me a favor? We're rolling on that. On that, if you can do me a favor and just clap in front of your face. Clap. Mm-hmm.
Hi. Hello, my name is Zanza Steinberg and I'm the founding artistic director of ALMA NYC. I was born in London, raised in the south of Spain, and have lived in New York City for going on 12 years. ALMA is a Spanish word and it's translated to soul, spirit, heart. The soul of the company are the dancers. The spirit of the company is all that we create together. And the heart of the company is, you know, the service component that we have where we create arts programming for individuals around New York City that maybe have low or limited access. My personal journey has been weaved into the way that we do things at ALMA. ALMA is alive as long as we have dancers that are ready to dance. The company is not a company without the humans.
I started dancing with ALMA, oh my gosh, I want to say, if I'm remembering correctly, I want to say 2012. I auditioned, I fell in love with it. I mean, all this time has passed and I've done numerous projects. The whole company is my best friends and here we are today.
My name is Devana and I'm originally from New Mexico. Nice to meet you. And I've been in New York for about 7 years now, almost. And I actually found ALMA pretty quickly in my first year. So that was around 2015, I believe. I think I just messaged Z and said, hey, I'm interested. Do you have an audition? She said, no, we have an open class. So I showed up at one of those. And it was, I don't know, love at first class.
Hi, I'm Daryl. I'm originally from Houston, Texas, and I've lived in New York for about 11 years now, as primarily as a actor, singer, dancer in the musical theater world. How long have I been with ALMA? I've been off and on for, it feels like 1,000 years. My friend Caitlin referred me to a show that they were producing called Wet. I believe this was 2015, and she needed a dancer, and I fell in love with Zanza and the company.
So how did I get involved with ALMA? Honestly, I was here in the city and a friend was like, hey,
have you heard of ALMA NYC? I was like, no. You know, I'm new. I'm trying to find a dance community, especially I just left the Disney ships. So I'm just like, what is New York? And he was like, well, ALMA's doing a show. You should go and audition. Homage. I always say it with a little flair, because it really was, it was amazing. But I went into the audition. I remember it was in the big studio. So mind you, this is like one of my first big auditions in the city. And I walk through and I walk in the back, and there's like 100+ people in this room just going, and like everyone's at the table, there's headshots everywhere. But like I remember walking in and everyone was just so bright. I remember the first task that we had to do, it wasn't even about dancing. It was just about like, you stand still and just see something across the sky or whatever you're doing. And I was just like, instantly I was like, yes, these are storytellers. This is where I belong. Because it wasn't a matter of like, can you hit your like a batma to your face, and like, can you turn? It was just like, yeah, we'll get to that, and if you can, great. But can you tell a story? From the get-go, it was just like, I just felt like seen, and everyone was just so kind. And I think that's been like a baseline for me throughout my whole career in New York. After that, I was like, you can be an artist and you can enjoy what you're doing with the people that you're doing it, and you could be a kind person. And it's been 4 years now that I've been with ALMA. It's just like, okay, cool, we're in the studio, go. Like, some of my favorite people in the city, because it's just like, you walk into a space and people just love you. And it's like so genuine and so authentic. Like, how are you? I might not have seen you because you've been away for a contract or whatever the case may be, but it was just like that community. And I feel so lucky, because sometimes I'll say, this is what I want, and then not until like in retrospect do I really recognize, like, oh, you got what you asked for. I want a place where I'm seen and like I can push myself but also be appreciated for what I bring to the table and who I am. And my voice is important, and I think that is so integral as an artist.
And then the city of New York just shut down.
I never could have had a concept for how long it would last. I've been in the city almost the entire time that COVID has been happening, and you know, I think people outside of the city thought New York was such a scary place to be, but honestly, I probably felt less isolated as a whole. I had a neighbor that would put a loudspeaker, I guess, right up to their window and play New York, New York by Frank Sinatra, and I would just almost cry every time. I just lived for that moment. We're all going through this together as a city, and I saw so many people really taking care of themselves, doing their hand sanitizer, wearing their masks, and I felt like the city did a great job of caring for one another through that time. But then I also realized the long-term effects of never being with my artistic family. And I think I just felt that just makes you feel really alone. That lasted a long time. I found myself just unable to leave dance. I couldn't. At first, lockdown was so surreal. We didn't know if we'd be able to get supplies. We didn't know if we'd be able to go outside. And we didn't actually even know we had to wear masks. And to watch things change every single day was so chaotic.
It started getting to the point where like going to the grocery store, like it was bad in March. And it was starting to get really panicky.
All of a sudden, all of us were kind of just like thrown into the deep end. It just felt like a lot because it felt like a lot of pressure to kind of like struggle to make ends meet.
We would just go and look out our window and there's no one. There's no cars, there's no people. And the only thing you would hear was just like constant ambulances, which was always like heartbreaking. That was the only noise you would hear, is just ambulance, ambulance, ambulance.
We had our first Zoom meeting pretty early on in the pandemic, and I didn't really know what to expect. I think I was very excited to use this new platform that would connect us. And so I think I walked in so optimistically, and it wasn't but 5 minutes into the meeting that just almost everybody was crying. And like beyond the tears, what I remember so vividly was being able to see how scared people were. But I just personally felt like I had to keep moving. I felt like if I stopped moving, that it would be over. And there were just several times that I was so grateful to be reminded of life in New York at 7 o'clock. You just felt like maybe you were the only person in the entire city until 7 o'clock. The applause was just, I was so grateful for it. Look, the truth is, we can't talk about COVID in 2020 without talking about George Floyd.
I really was experiencing a lot of fear and anxiety. You know, I think that was very, very scary. Not even just environmentally. I mean, I'm a black man. I walk through the world in a very specific way. You know, I've had, you know, issues with the cops before. I've had like moments where I've been fearful. But just to see it and hear the conversation and just seeing the blatant bigotry and like how split we were, that was hard. But I think the scariest moment would have to be when that was happening, how angry I was, how scared I was. And it was just like all the hope was just being drained for me.
There was definitely several phases that I went through. When the Black Lives Matter movement took over, I kind of went into an existential crisis. I was trying to figure out my identity, who I was in this industry as an African-American male. So I had to redefine like how I felt about the industry.
When you're in your apartment and you have nothing else to think about and everything is just kind of in your face and all the things are happening, you start to think about how you've been treated, and not only how you've been treated, but if there was a microaggression in that, instead of excusing it, like actually thinking about it, you start to think about how you've treated yourself. Did I stop one question earlier than I should have because I didn't want to be viewed as aggressive? Did I stop one request sooner because I didn't think that I deserved it? You know, was I a token? Was I not? You know, all of those different things. And so it's honestly right now, it's the beginning of a journey for me in thinking about those things.
A lot of us had time to sort of look back on previous experiences that we had. And it was so bizarre to be like, oh my gosh, I was treated horribly and brushed it off. I don't want to ever feel like I've been cast for a project because I'm black. I want to be given opportunities as a black person, of course, but I don't want to ever feel like, oh, we hired him because we needed a black person so that we don't feel racist. And a lot of times that has happened to me, the token, if you will. So I do not want to be anyone's token anymore. I want to be hired because I'm the best person for the job, and I want to be given the opportunity as a black person.
As far as coming out of the pandemic, as a black woman in the dance industry, and also not only that, but like a full-figured woman, just thinking about what that means to the world, but what it needs to mean to me, and how much I don't want the world's opinion of me to affect how I move forward anymore.
It is June 14th, 2020, and I am moving.
It's a beautiful, sunny Monday afternoon in June.
Today,
I'm moving.
Today, I'm moving. It's Monday?
Today is a day full of
It's the 25th
change.
of June 2020, and I am currently in my 3rd month of quarantine, and today I am moving.
Today I am moving.
It's June 14th, and today I'm moving.
Today I feel overwhelmed, but I'm moving.
In a few minutes, I'm moving.
It's June day and I am moving.
Today is June 27th and I keep moving.
It's July 3rd and today I'm moving.
Today is a difficult day and I am moving.
Great. Any questions after that run? Over? Stop. And through.
Can you hear it now? No. A1.
We're getting very, very good at picking up really intricate, challenging choreography on Zoom.
I remember one of the first things that ALMA did at the beginning of all of this. We had a Zoom call and we just sort of talked about how we were feeling. And at the time I was dealing with some very traumatic roommate issues, and I remember just everyone held space for each other to sort of express what they were going through. And then we had a dance party and just danced out all our feelings. So ALMA, from beginning till now, has always just been an extra support system for me, like whether that's through dance or just talking out feelings.
One of the greatest privileges that I have is in our partnerships that we have with organizations or individuals, or even just hearing about individuals creating new movements is, one of the best things about the job for me. There's just such tremendous work happening, and I'm so grateful and inspired just to be anywhere near it.
I'm Abby. I'm the founding director of Groove With Me. I started Groove With Me when I was 25 years ago. And the mission of Groove With Me was to give access to dance for kids who wouldn't be able to have it. You've got working parents with all different schedules, and we are here because it's easy. They're great kids. The reason for me that dance, like Groove With Me, is dance, or I was motivated, is I think dance feels amazing. Like, I grew up dancing. I love it. I love when it clicks. I love how it feels. I love to do a pirouette. I love to, everything. I love it. Dance prevents risk-taking behaviors. I think it's because you get to use your body for what makes you happy, and you get ownership over it. I think there's a lot of claiming back what makes you feel good in dance. I really want that for the girls. And then, of course, all the other things, the goal achievement, the getting on stage when you've worked so hard, the teamwork. Most girls, if you ask them what they love about being here, a lot of the older girls will say the friendships. It's so important. It's so important that they have friendships that aren't peer pressure or fitting in or how they look on social media. They really have friendships here. And then all the things that art education does. We know that it makes you smarter, or it makes you better cognitively, and we know that it makes you more well-rounded as far as the humanities and the way, they can see the world, or we just, So I guess the three parts are, we know what art education does, and we know what youth programming does, which is the self-esteem and the goal achievement, and then we know how dance makes you feel.
My name is Antoine Byers. Pronouns are he and him. I'm a dancer, creative entrepreneur, and arts activist based here in Lenape-Hocking, Manhattan, New York. I'm originally from Dallas, Texas. I moved here in 2013 for college. Went to the Ailey Fordham BFA program, joined the Metropolitan Opera, which is where I dance now. Also danced with Ailey too for a little bit, and freelance and dance with different companies around New York. So yeah, I'm also a model with Stets Model Management, and I do some kind of advocacy work with Dance Artists National Collective. Also just got elected to the Board of Governors at ALMA. So yeah, a few things. I'm trying not to look at you. Creating change makers was a long time coming. I think that there were obvious events in 2020 that were definitely the spark of it. But I was noticing a lot of things in our field as a Black person that I kind of wanted to respond to for a while. So the work didn't start in 2020, or the observations didn't start, but me creating the space, because I had the space to do so, began. It really started with me needing community. I literally sent a text to every Black dancer on my phone that I could think of, and said, can we hop on a Zoom call? How are you doing? I need to talk to people. It actually was on, what was that, Blackout Tuesday? I think it was June 1st, where we all put up the black boxes and everything. I just felt like we were all kind of shutting down and going inside of ourselves, and I needed to have a community to speak with. So from there, we met every week, pretty much all the way through maybe August or September. And we would just have Zoom calls. Some of them had specific topics, like we talked about specifically white supremacy in training and how that shows up, what it's like to be a professional dancer, both with members of our community who are more concert dancers, but also how it shows up in commercial dance. As educators, what is it like to navigate that space? Also kind of some of the dance jobs we don't think about or often talk about, such as dance writers, producers, filmmakers. What does it look like in those spaces as well? So from there, I was like, how do I get this out of my contact list? to more people than just who I know and who my friends know. So that's where we started Black Dance Changemakers, officially became a platform. And right now we host between 8 to 10 events each month. We are currently gearing up for our retreat at the end of this month. So that's kind of where we're at right now, doing a little bit of restructuring for the fall as things are starting to open back up, but still trying to find ways to connect our community.
We have been rehearsing on Zoom for, I guess, almost like over a year at this point. We've been working on new material since February, and I've been trying to do my best to like go over it and make sure I really know it, but I can't imagine once we get into a space and actually getting to move, not only the choreography, not only creating, but being with each other in a space is gonna be incredible, because again, we've been connecting via Zoom. Even the people who have still been in Manhattan haven't been able to be in a studio together. And just having each other's energy, having music, it's so different to be connected, and I'm very much looking forward to that.
One of the biggest reasons why I want to come back, or why I have come back to ALMA and just in the dance world itself, is the community and the love that I feel from everybody in this company. It's just, I had to come back, you know. It's something that I can't not have that.
Fun fact, I started dancing because I wanted a trophy. My neighbor had all of these cool costumes and trophies, and I wanted that too. And I guess my mom had already been kind of looking into putting me into dance, but I was like, yeah, I'm in now. I'm totally in. I want a trophy. Funny enough, I did not go to a studio that did competitions. I never have done competitions, so I never got a trophy. I knew the second I started dancing that I wanted to do dance as a career. This was my first Broadway show. I was 13 and came to New York for a ballet competition, and my grandma took me, and my mom and my aunt, and I was just like, wow, that's what I do, but this is even more, and this is even better. Yeah. Being a dancer in the city, you have to be ready to really work, and not just at your craft, but also at existing and living and running from point A to point B and making sure you don't forget your love for your craft while you're doing it. So I'm head off to dance class. I'm very proud of myself because I have one bag. I normally have at least 2, if not more. And this is a light day. I only have, it's very light. It's not 40 pounds as I like lug it. It really is though. Whew. Anyway, so I got my shoes. I got a couple of change of clothes for class. 2 types of shoes just in case I'm not feeling my heels. Got my heels and my jazz shoes. Make sure I got that Metro card. First time in a while back in the studio, so I'm excited. Finally be dancing again, not on my questionably wooden floor with ceilings right here. We, as human species, are really a naturally social group.
everything that we've learned, like with Zoom and finding ways to see each other from 6 feet apart and just like air hug and elbow bump for the last year and a half has like just gone to prove that like we need each other.
One of the biggest things I've learned from this time is that hugs are like one of the most amazing things. I got to hug like everyone in this room, and it was the most hugs that I've had like all year.
So take your time, whatever warm-up. This part, just do a little bit of warm-up parallel. So articulate through the foot, the right foot, then articulate through the left, and then rise and 6 right forward, making sure the sternum stays over the pubic bone. And 3 and 4.
I think, you know, every dancer in the world can understand the power of just putting your hands on a ballet bar and taking a plie.
Yeah, there's no other place I'd rather be. This community it surpasses just the dance and the stage. Like,
it's not only been a home for me in terms of doing what I love and being around other people, but it's helped me find my way.
I have learned that I am like firmly a dancer. It never occurred to me to not dance, ever.
Of course I'm going to keep doing it because this is what I do, and not because anybody told me so, but because I continually want to keep doing it.
It is so much the energy of the people around you.
It is my passion and it fulfills me. And just hearing music and getting to be an artist, I think, is the most fulfilling thing in the world.
Face on, fasten, just 6, let's plie after each 1A false, make sure you really.
In the darkest moments, we still could move and listen to music and feel and rise above it all.
My name is Abby Hunt, and I have been with ALMA since, oh my goodness, what is time? I joined ALMA as a guest artist for their Champions event in 2019. And then I had the honor of doing Yellow with ALMA, and then everything happened, and here we are, and I'm so glad to be kind of on the other side of that as we go in. I'm also a group fitness instructor for Equinox, and so as we start to open gyms, I've been back to that, and I'm also a new mom, so that's like my new favorite job that I get to do every day. Yeah, transitioning into mom life during all of this, gosh, it's been such a devastating year. But in some ways for our family, I feel incredibly grateful for the timing of all of this. I always knew that I wanted to be a mom, but I was always really scared about what would that be like as a dancer. I'm also 35, and like, so in dance world years, like sometimes that's like, oh, this is the end of your career, which I don't feel that way at all. But I wondered, like, at that age, what would my body feel like having a baby? What would that mean for recovery? So it was always very scary, but I will always dance. I don't know what that will look like when I'm 85, but that will always just be something that I do. Like, I can't not. And experiencing that pregnant, and then with Ray too, it's like, something that I want for her is, I want her to find something that sets her soul on fire, like that dance has done for me. So all these things I was so worried about, she makes it so easy because she's just amazing, but also, I don't know, for us it's like, it's so worth it anyway. So yeah, it's been incredible.
Ray, is this your first interview?
It is. You're doing a great job.
Slate.
Yeah. They clap. Yay!
We've just gone through a year and a half where it's felt like the arts have added no value, when in reality, the arts have been what's carried a lot of people through this pandemic. So I feel like most New Yorkers know this, but in 1996, when they started to clean up Grand Central, and notably the ceiling, right? So there's this little mark, right? There's this little rectangle that they left uncleaned. And I look for it every single time I'm walking through Grand Central. I'm like, how fast can I find this little rectangle on the ceiling? And I remember walking through during COVID and just thinking, you know, I was probably getting maybe deeper than necessary, but I just thought, you know, probably pre-cleanup, I would look at that ceiling and say, it's not so bad. Like, if it's everywhere, if it is so widespread, we've just accepted that the ceiling, the color is brown. And then I can imagine when they began to clean it up, then you realize, whoa, this is not the color the ceiling's supposed to be. And it's a big job. And I love that they left this little rectangle kind of as a reminder of like, well, now you can really see the contrast, right? And I just feel like that can trickle into so many things. And I think about our industry and how we had this rest and like we had a chance to look at the ceiling and decide whether it needed a real cleanup. And I think collectively we all did. And it's not just our industry, it's the country, it's the world. And I hope that we can get to work. And what I think is really important is the reminder of what it looked like before. So that little rectangle is so important to still be on that ceiling. And I think that's the way we do it now, is how do we clean up and then what does our rectangle look like? So we can really see what the difference is. I don't know, maybe that's too much.
There's something really special about this city.
Not even just us as a company, but we're family.
I'm never gonna take a rehearsal for granted anymore.
We as an industry know that we need to create more safe and more equitable spaces for BIPOC artists and creators. And we need to be telling different stories too. We need to be telling their story. Applause and cowbells and pots and pans and screaming, and it didn't stop.
And it's called A Company Built on Love, and that's what you felt. You felt that you could walk away and there would be no hard feelings. You felt that you could come back and you would be welcomed.
Everyone walks away with this special experience in this place.
So I lift my hands to the God that guides me, to the one that finds me. Even in my darkest days, he walks beside me singing songs of freedom.
My name is Kat, and I dance because it's fun.
I'm Jenny Rivera, and I'm a dancer. I love to dance because it brings me joy. It's one of the few ways that I can connect to music, and I'm just passionate about music.
I like to dance because I can express my feelings in a way I can't do it with words.
Hi, I'm Caitlin, and I dance because it allows me to become my most authentic self.
Hi, my name is Rachel Wong, and I dance because it helps me feel good about myself.
I like to dance because it's my time to like move around and get my body ready for dance and anything.
Hi, I'm Raleigh. I dance because it transcends language and you can tell stories and convey emotions with it.
Hi, my name is Ariana. I love to dance because it's the one thing that makes my mind and my body feel like it's in the same place at the same time.
I like to dance because you get to like express yourself when dancing and it makes you feel good about yourself.
Hi, I'm Kyla Hall, and I dance because it makes me feel alive and allows me to express things I'm feeling in my heart.
Caitlin, what's your favorite part about living in New York City?
These moments. My favorite part is the spontaneity. Woohoo!
Yeah, you never know what's gonna happen.
New York City is like nowhere else. You can't do things everywhere that you can do here.
Elisa, what's your favorite part about living in New York?
People, for sure.
That's right.
Hi,
my name is Layla Musavian, and I like to dance because it allows me to explore myself through movement.
Hi, my name is Danny, and I dance because I enjoy storytelling through movement to an audience.
My name is Layla, and I like to dance because it allows me to express my emotions and move how I feel.
Hi, my name is Taylor, and I dance for the community it provides.
All you have to tell us is why you like to dance.
Because it comforts me and that's it.
We are ALMA NYC.
ALMA NYC.
We are ALMA NYC.
ALMA NYC.
ALMA NYC.
We are ALMA NYC.
ALMA NYC. ALMA NYC.
ALMA NYC.
We are ALMA NYC.
We are ALMA NYC, a not-for-profit dance company with strong philanthropic initiatives driving our creative work.
We are committed to creating new, engaging, and exciting dance works.
We strive to maximize our connection with our audience and partners each time we have the opportunity.
We honor the diversity of the human experience for all who walk through our doors, and we encourage everyone to unleash their inner artist.
ALMA is all about community. Let's get yours involved.
The easiest way to support our community is to tell others, share with a friend, or if you're a dancer, keep an eye out for our community class.
Spreading the word is great. However, what we really need as we come back from this past year is monetary support.
After launching our Connect performances as a part of Yellow, we're ready to take it a step further, inviting those with limited access to the arts on stage to perform with us, following our mission to encourage all to unleash their inner artist.
In order to thrive and to continue providing accessible seats for every performance, we need your financial support. Donations can be made via our donation page on our website.
Monetary donations help fund creative work like this and support not only our company artists, but the comeback of the entire New York City dance community.
ALMA NYC wouldn't be who we are without the support of our donors, our staff, our pro bono team, and of course, you. We'd like to give a special shout out to our consistent supporters, Royce Barber, Evan Sarzan, Matthew DiPasquale, Christine Houston, Brian Kaplan, Gemma Bax, Kenny Breglio, and Giovanna DiBernardo. Thank you for generously giving to ALMA's growth over the years. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We are so grateful.
Thank you.
We appreciate you so much.
We are so grateful. Thank you.
We are so grateful and we truly appreciate all your love and support.
Thank you. From the bottom of our soul, spirit, and heart.
There is hope in every situation. Stay in place.